Oh, the surf sports scoop there. Hayden White throwing the gauntlet down to the 10-time national flags champion in Simon Harris. Of course, the Australian title's just around the corner, but now our attention turns to this Summer of Surf grand final and the open female surf race. Have a look at this, Josh.
The best women in the water are set to go head-to-head in the surf race, Kurt, and what a first page. There's some incredible talent there, and any one of those 6 girls or 8 girls can win it. And as we go over, Taylor Pascaric, we saw her win earlier in the summer, and as well as Eliza Smith. She's a former winner as well, so this is anyone's surf race, and the way we've seen it, it's going to come down to tactics and where you come home on the way in.
Yeah, so critical. That bank has played a huge part here in those last few races, especially coming back. You've got to stay out. You've got to avoid that temptation of chasing the swells and chasing the runners to the south, because it's just not paying dividends at the moment.
And already local knowledge is paying dividends at the bottom of your screen there. That's Georgia Miller. She's from Newport. She swims here every day. She jumps straight in the rip, and look at the difference it's made. While these girls are in still waist-depth water, Georgia Miller's on, swimming, and on her way to the can.
Well, that rip worked all the time last week when we saw it here at Newport. They were all into it, and it's just how quickly people forget, Josh. It blows me away. It worked last time. It's going to work this time, and it's kind of a bit upsetting sometimes when you see competitors at this level just ignore it.
Yeah, make silly mistakes. You get all the time in the world before a race to figure where you're going to go, but as we say that, the field's starting to swim back on Georgia Miller, but they're burning so much energy just to try and catch up, as Jess Collins there from Redhead really drags that field up. She's dragging a couple of the Northcliffe competitors there, the white cap with a maroon star on the top. Lara Moses from Newport's in that pack, but it's all Georgia Miller out in front.
Yeah, sometimes it's not the things you do, it's the things you don't do that work against you, and those girls didn't go in the rip, and now they're playing catch-up. Miller sets the pace, and at least to their credit, especially Collins, she's reeled her in, and definitely Jess Collins will see her brother Daniel coming up in the open men's surf race as well. That's the next crop, the next generation to look out for.
Such a talented swimming family and surf life saving family, and Jess is doing a great job to hang on to the former Australian champion in Georgia Miller, and she's really dragged Harriet Brown and Eliza Smith, Lara Moses, Tian Raymond, and it looks like Tara Coleman in there as well. Just dragged those 7 or 8 girls onto the heels of Georgia Miller, and they haven't let her go, and that small bit of effort from Georgia Miller at the start to run down to the rip has paid dividends, and she didn't have to make as much effort as Jess Collins did to swim back onto her.
So the right decision going out. Now the girls have to make the right decision coming back as they really get into that wash riding. And just want to run us around again, Josh. I guess going around the cans in a surf race, a little bit of recovery time, a bit of time to take a few thoughts, sit on the wash, and then when you turn that last can, it's a green light, all guns blazing, whatever you got left.
And but that's something that a lot of competitors do. They'll turn off around those cans and just rest up. But the ones who aren't aware, they'll lose those 1 body length, 2 body lengths, and that makes all the difference. It's about going back to your technique, finding your efficiency, finding your own water, and getting around there as easily and as drama-free as possible. And once the girls get to this spot, they just go hell for leather for the finish line. And we see Jess Collins, she's really starting to wind up and come up on Georgia Miller's shoulder here. And this is the girls will be crazy. Those girls who've gone to the top of the screen there, they're taking a completely different line, and they're really just hoping and praying for a wave to come. And it hasn't worked in any of the races we've seen so far. It may work here, but it's unlikely. It's the low percentage play.
Oh, that's an absolute low percent of that one. They're going to need a miracle the top of screen. Surely it's going to come from the bottom here. I just love the way that these girls have built into their race. Jess Collins has slowly just edged around and trying to make her move here on Georgia Miller. You can see the rating of Miller just slowing up ever so slightly. These girls start to hit the wave zone, not much on offer. They might have to get up and wade. It's one of the toughest things in surf racing to do. When there's no waves, you've got to get up, wade, or duck dive, and here they come.
Here come the waves there. It looks like Harriet Brown's going to come down as well. Jess Collins, we've got a race in 3. Harriet Brown will have the size and the leg advantage here, but Jess Collins is up first.
Oh, Collins up first, but it's going to full out again, so at least Collins keeping her feet. Miller body surfing through the gutter. She's off the back. Collins, so aggressive there through that little inshore gutter. So gutsy, Collins. She kept her feet. She's tough. Oh, just gets Brown on the line. Super unlucky, Miller with 3rd. Well, unorthodox, but effective. Jess Collins just willed her way to the finish line to take out this first ever open female surf race final at the Summer of Surf. From the Redhead Club, just an incredible finale, and Collins proving why she's definitely one to watch out for come the state and Australian titles now. Right there, the runner-up by whisker, Harriet Brown, our board race champion and our ski race champion and leader there in that surf race, Georgia Miller, just missing out.
Great race. You really came through at the end there.
Yeah, I was really lucky to pick up that last little run at the end, so really stoked with it.
You've had a few good races at the Summer of Surf this year.
I've had a couple. I haven't been able to make it to a fair few, so it was good to come away with a win in the last one.
Exciting it to be out there amongst some of the surf stars and potentially a star of the future for yourself.
I don't know about that, but yeah, it's great to race alongside all the girls in the Kellogg's Nitro Green, and yeah, it's just been awesome.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.